Okay, so this is Mr. Briggs's thing on how to make a really basic game in Scratch. What I'm going to make is a game where I have this little cat character, and he's going to move back and forth across the screen, and he is going to collect things that fall down. Now, some things we need to understand about the Scratch environment. Right here, we have the actual game and the game screen. This is what the players are going to see. Now, what they don't see is everything that happens here. I have the cat selected, and his name is Sprite1, and I'm just going to go ahead and rename him Cat for fun. And what I'm going to do is right here now is all of the cat's code. Now, the code is what he does and how he does it. His costumes are how he appears, and I can edit it and change it. And the sounds are the sounds associated with that cat. So I want to make a game where he moves right or left. I'm going to start there. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move him down here at the bottom. And you'll notice his X and his Y change. That's going to become important later. His X and Y means he's pretty far down because his Y is negative 128. And he's pretty far to the left because he's negative 185. If he were right directly in the middle, he would be like 0 and 0. So I'm going to put him down in the corner here because I want him to move right and left. The other important thing to consider as I do this is over here in my code. Now the little flag there, that is going to make the game start. So that's my first kind of big event. So I'm going to go to events here. And I'm going to say when the flag is clicked. Now what do I want him to do? Well, I want to control him. And I want him to be controlled forever. Forever, he is going to be able to move right and left. So I'm going to put in an if blank. Well, I need to put something in that blank. So I'm going to go here to sensing. And sensing is how he sees the world around him, what he responds to. I want him to respond to a key being pressed. So I'm going to pop in this code right here. I'll zoom in on it so it makes a little more sense. When the right arrow is pressed, what do I want him to do? Well, I want him to point in a direction, and the direction I want him to point in is right. And they do that as 90 degrees. I can turn this arrow around and make him go any direction I want. And I want him to move 10 steps. Okay, I'm going to test that code out. I'm going to hit the go button. And if I press the right arrow, he moves right. When I press the left arrow, nothing happens. Why not? Well, I haven't made any code for him going left. Now, I could recreate this whole chunk of code, or I could just right-click it or two-finger click it and duplicate it. Now, what do I need to change to make it left? Well, I need to change this right arrow to left arrow, and I need to change his direction to the left. Let's try him out now. Okay, if I hit that button, he can go right, and he goes left. Oh, but check that out. He doesn't know whether he should be up or down. So we've got to fix that out. Okay, and I believe we fixed that. They always move this on us. In our, right down here in movement, there's a thing that says set rotation style. I'm going to put that at the very top. So now if I do that, it fixes him and he goes right and left. Cool. I have the first part of my game. Well, the next part of my game that I need to do is I want to make him look like he's running. Now this cat has two costumes, and I could change those costumes by painting them and doing other things, but I'm going to take advantage of the fact I've got two different costumes that make him look like he's running if it's moving a lot. I'm going to go into looks, and one of the blocks in looks is next costume. And I am going to put a next costume block inside each of these movement blocks. And now when I hit go, it looks, oh, let me try this again. It should look like he's running. It's a little crazy, but it's a lot of fun. Okay, so that's the cat. Well, now I want to make something for the cat to grab and eat. Now, in a lot of cases, the things that you attack or the things you eat, the bad guys are actually smarter than the player. You've got to create them smart enough. So I'm going to make some things for him to grab. I want some things to float at the top of the screen here and fall at him. So I'm going to click here where there's all these different sprites. I'm going to choose a new sprite. And I'm going to find something for him to grab. I think he is going to grab, let's have him grab some things, some food. Let's have him grab some donuts. Okay, so we got a donut here. Now I want to make that donut a little bit smaller. So I'm going to click on this button right here and make it like half that size, 50%. That's a better size donut for the cat. And right now he is at negative 99, positive 165. That's important. So first I'm going to get his movement going right and left. The first thing I'm going to do is make an event, and I'm going to have this thing start when I click. Okay? And then I'm going to have this happen forever. And forever, what he's going to do is move from right and left. I'm going to start out by having him go glide to his current position. Oh, I'm going to drag that out. I'm going to put him where I want him and have him glide there. Now that's important because it's going to loop. I'm then going to move him where I want him to go next. You can see that glide block changed. So he's gliding to one side of the screen, he's gliding to the other side of the screen. Let's see how that looks when I hit go. Check that out. Pretty cool, right? But now I've got to make the drop. Okay? So to make the drop, I got to get a little complicated. How many times do I want him going right or left? Well, I'm going to create a event here, or I'm sorry, control. And in control, I got a thing called repeat. Maybe I'll have him do that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do something new. Okay? So the new thing I'm going to have him do is I'm going to have him go to a random place. Okay? Kind of random. I'm going to have him go to a kind of random place. I want him to say the same Y value, the same how high, but right and left I want to be random. So I'm going to go to operators, and operators is math. And I'm going to pick a random place, positive 200 to negative 200. But I'm keeping Y the same. And that means he's going to stop somewhere. And then I want him to drop. So I'm going to drop to the level of the cat here. Okay? If I go to movement here, I can then make a glide. But I'm going to change one thing. I want to keep this minus 121 because I want him to drop all the way to the bottom of the screen. But I want to keep the X position. That's how far right and left he is. Okay? Let's see how this code looks now for the donut. Okay, it's going to go back once, go back twice, go back 3 times, maybe 4 times. Oh, and now it drops. And it goes back. Pretty cool. Now, if I want it to go exactly where it was, I'm just going to duplicate this thing, but I'm going to make this number here 200. Now, it's going to go back and forth 4 times, stop somewhere randomly, drop straight up, drop straight down, and go again. Not too bad. I'm actually going to make this 120 right here, or 150 maybe. That looks better. Okay? Not too bad. I'm liking this code right now. It looks really great. But now I've got to make a code so that when the cat grabs the donut, the score changes. So I'm going to move this code to the side a little bit and give myself some room. And I'm going to make a new string of code. The code I'm going to make now is when the flag is clicked, but this time I'm going to do a forever and an if. What's the if? Well, when the donut touches the cat. So I'm going to say touching, not the mouse pointer, the cat. If it's touching the cat, okay, I want it to make a sound. Well, they go to sounds here. There's a sound it makes. Or this one. I kind of like the chomp here. So I can add new sounds if I wanted to, but I like that chomp. I'm going to have it play that chomp sound until it's done. And now I've got the cat going right and left. And when I grab the cat, when the cat grabs something, oh, where's the donut? It's stopping. Okay, I did that. Well, let's say I wanted to have a scoreboard. This is the last little thing I will do. I want to have a scoreboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to variables. Now, variable is a fancy way of saying something I'm keeping track of. Maybe it's points, maybe it's levels, maybe it's something like that. I'm going to make a variable and call it points. And I'm going to get for all the sprites. You see my points showed up, and I can move my points around a little bit. I might move it down here where it's out of the way of the game. And I'm going to have it so that when the game starts, it sets the points to 0. But every time I touch, the donut touches the cat, I'm going to have it change the points by 1. Let's see how that looks. Okay, it goes right, goes left. I'm trying to grab them donuts. Trying to grab them donuts. Oh, uh-oh. I scored 2 points. Well, here's the important thing. As long as I'm touching it, I'm scoring more points. So I might want to put here in events, control, there's a little thing that says wait a couple seconds. I'm going to put in a little bit of a pause between when I eat the donut and when I score a point. That way my points don't just go crazy. Going right, going left. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I'm going to get you. Got it. And I scored 1 point. Awesome. So I've got donuts, I've got cat, I got a point. Now, could I make new sprites? Absolutely. I could right click and duplicate new things here. And now there's a bunch of donuts. And to make the game interesting, I might change how fast they're going. Instead of gliding 1 second, I'll have it gliding 0.7 seconds. And maybe this guy here, I'll have him gliding 1.5 seconds. And now, when it starts, I've got donuts going all over the place in different ways, and I got to catch them as fast as I can. It's a pretty cool game, and I like it. So now I want to share it. So I'm going to change this name to Donut Cat. And I'm going to hit share. And now I can call it a new project. This is what the rest of the world will see when I share my game. Now I've got a page that I can share with people. I could take this link right here and I can send it to all my friends and say, this is the game I made called Donut Cat. Okay, take your time, have fun, and it's all right there.